Welcome friends, I'm Yvonne Davis, author, astrologer, and life transformation coach, and welcome to my channel where I do general astrology and political astrology. Okay, so I am going to do another video on Donald Trump and see if we can learn something more from his from the eclipses landing on his chart. All right, so really quickly, I just want to say, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and click like on the video, share with friends and family and on social media, and feel free to leave comments. I love to read your comments. So I also want to mention that I said before I'm learning to use some new technology here because I'm going to be traveling in Central America, and I'm trying to learn the technology and while I can control the variables, because once I'm in Central America, there'll be a lot more variables I won't be able to control. So, so I'm actually trying to make a few more videos so I can learn to use this technology. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up Donald Trump's chart. Okay, so this is the chart where we see the new moon eclipse of July 2nd, 2019. And as I had said before, when I did this before, and I'm going to include a card or a video at the end so that you can see where I did this quite a while ago. I talked about how this new moon eclipse over his Mercury was going to trigger something karmic regarding communication and regarding communication, lies, things that have been hidden, intentional deceit. And if you don't understand why I would be saying that, let me just go over this really quickly, okay? Mercury is the planet of communication, and it is in his 12th house, which is ruled by Neptune, and the 12th house and Neptune rule in the shadow, things that are hidden, okay? That can include lies, deceit, deception, delusion, pathological lying, mental illness, anything regarding communication, because it's Mercury, but in that shadow aspect, because it's in the 12th house and because it is squaring Neptune. You can see here, Neptune is in his third house of communication. So his communication by its very nature is shadowy. That square of Mercury to Neptune means that he is a pathological liar. So the new moon eclipse hitting that point means that it is going to address karmic issues around his pathological lying and information that has been hidden, and it's been intentionally hidden. He's fought every inch of the way. He's a pathological liar, and he obstructs justice, and he tries to hide things, and he lies to people, and just basically does anything he can to obscure the truth because, you know, I guess he just doesn't like the truth. So this is karmic, and it's hitting that point in his chart. Now, the other thing you want to look at in terms of karma and this new moon eclipse is the north node at 17 degrees of Cancer, 37 minutes, and then the south node over here in Capricorn conjunct Saturn, also at 17 minutes. So there was something important going on at that new moon eclipse. And I did predict that the Democrats would bring to the House a formal impeachment inquiry that would lead to articles of impeachment and then a vote. And I've made another video recently saying that I believe the vote will take place on December 12th. So I think it's important to reiterate that I was making these predictions quite a while ago, and there are videos to prove that. And I'm saying that not to convince people who've been watching my channel for a long time, because you already know that, but I'm talking about so many people who like to come to my channel and call me a fraud and say I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just fooling people, and Trump's going to be fine. He's going to be running for re-election, and he's going to win re-election and all of that. And I was saying, no, he's not going to be fine. I actually think that we are heading toward impeachment. And so now we have seen this coming to the fore, and it's manifesting, and my predictions are coming true. So the other thing I wanted to say was how I think it's really interesting the way that astrology works. So I made the prediction when I saw this new moon eclipse over his Mercury squaring his Neptune on July 2nd, 2019. But it was taking a long time to manifest, because sometimes eclipses do take longer because they're unfolding karmic changes, okay? They're bringing about karmic changes. And that's different than just a regular new moon or full moon. So I thought it was really interesting that it wasn't until Saturn went direct on September 18th and then conjoined the South Node on September 27th, and then Pluto went direct and stayed in one place for 7 to 10 days. That was when this whole thing exploded. That's why I'm calling this video Trump's Karma Explodes. Okay, so let's look at the next thing that I think is really interesting, which is the full moon eclipse that will come on January 10th of 2020. And this is interesting because of the karmic points that the January full moon eclipse is hitting. So first I'm going to show you how it actually lays on the original new moon eclipse chart. So you can see here the North Node is now conjoining that original eclipse point. The North Node is at 8 degrees Cancer, and the eclipse was at 10 degrees of Cancer, so that's considered a conjunction. And the full moon eclipse is now conjunct where the North Node originally was on July 2nd. And then down here in Capricorn, we see that the Sun and Mercury are now conjoining. They're at 20 degrees, and they're conjoining, or they have conjoined, but still they're less than 3 degrees away. So this is still conjunction to the South Node Saturn conjunction that took place on July 2nd, 2019. Okay? This is how karma works. It's like dominoes. It's like you hit the first domino and it just clicks, 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 clicks. So each time something hits that point, something important happens, especially certain planets. The eclipses are the most important, where the nodes land are super important, and then the outer planets like Saturn and Pluto. These were all important in terms of clicking off his karma. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to show you is what happens when we look at this full moon eclipse on Donald Trump's chart. So I'm going to pull that up real quick, and you can see here now how the North Node has now moved into conjunction with his Mercury. So, I mean, that's a really tight conjunction, and of course it's also squaring his Neptune. So this is the next stage in the karmic unfolding. And then of course we've got Pluto and Saturn now, and the Sun and Mercury as part of this eclipse, having made this conjunction to his vertex in the 6th house of work. The vertex is fate. And Pluto and Saturn are now making a much tighter opposition to his Neptune. and opposition to his Venus. So, and this is, of course, in the house of things that are hidden. So the full moon will shine a light on it. The full moon, it illuminates things, especially when you see it in the 12th house. It unveils the secrets. So the combination of Pluto and the full moon eclipse in the 12th house will unveil all of these things that have been hidden, all the secrets, all the lies, all the deception. It will be out there for anyone with a brain and eyes and ears to see. So, even Fox News had recently put up polls. I actually saw it on Morning Joe on MSNBC News. They were using the numbers that Fox News put up, because Fox News did polls, and even their polling was not favorable to Donald Trump. So then they just MSNBC News just put up, the Fox News polling, because it was like, here you go. And the one that I found most interesting was okay. Let me go ahead and bring you back out of this chart, and I'll tell you about that. So the Fox News poll that I saw on Morning Joe, there was one where they said that even they asked if the call and what Donald Trump discussed with the Ukrainian leader was appropriate, and only 17% could even say that it was appropriate. The rest said it was inappropriate, and there were actually three answers you could give: appropriate and impeachable. Inappropriate and impeachable, inappropriate but not impeachable, and appropriate. And only 17% could say it was appropriate, which means that even amongst his most fervent supporters, only 17% could even bring themselves to say that it was appropriate. So that's pretty bad. Yeah. All right, so that's going to conclude this video, and I'm going to work on creating some cards, because I would like you to be able to see that I did these videos quite a while back predicting all of these things, and now they're happening. And so you'll find those either in the cards above or in the videos that I post at the end of this video. And I will also put in a link to that Morning Joe video on YouTube, where you can see where they actually used the Fox poll numbers, and you can see that for yourself, and I'll put that in the comments. All right, so that's everything. Of course, as always, if you want a personal reading, or if you want to become a patron, just go to the links below and you'll find everything that you need for that. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close, and I will see you again later.